Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let's try to understand what is this BACE setup and what are the expectations of the person who is staying in the BACE. So this BACE, BACE, stands for Bhaktivedanta Academy for Culture and Education. Now this is a place which is meant for all the youth boys to stay and practice bhakti. In Srimad Bhagavatam, described by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, Kaler dosham de rajan asti eko mahan gunaha kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sanga param vrajet. So it is described in Kali Yuga. It is filled with faults. It's ocean of faults. Kaler dosha nidhi, ocean of faults. So in this age of Kali, practicing bhakti, see, bhakti is simple, but practicing bhakti consistently is something which is very difficult. And for that, the person, the devotee himself, the practitioner has to be very determined. And along with that, the association also matters a lot. Because without association, it's very difficult. In the age of Kali Yuga, we will see that how the entire crowd is moving in one direction like the river is flowing, moving towards sense gratification. The only slogan is enjoy. That's it. Enjoy, eat, sleep, marry. Nothing else. But then we have a different slogan that we have to march towards selfless service to Lord Sri Krishna and his devotees. So now just imagine the entire crowd is flowing towards in one direction, and we are expected to swim across, and alone it will be very difficult. Because the mind will trick, saying the entire crowd is moving in one direction, and then you are going in another direction. Are you okay? Is everything alright with you? And at some point of time, you might get a question, maybe they are correct, and maybe I am wrong. But then, when we have people around us who are also swimming across this river, where they are also aiming at attaining the highest goal of human form of life, then the journey, then the entire pravas, the entire travel, the entire journey towards Lord Krishna will be peaceful, blissful, satisfying. Therefore, even in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter 9th shloka, Krishna is saying, Machitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Krishna is telling Arjun that Arjun, when my devotees come together, they do devotional service. They discuss about me. And when they discuss about me, what happens? Tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. They become completely satisfied. Ramanti cha, they become very happy. Therefore, this association is very, very important. And especially in the youthhood, especially for the boys, it's not that easy in this age of Kali to practice consistent devotional service because there are a lot of allurements around. So we need like-minded association of devotees who will help us to proceed on the path of devotional service. It's but obvious, when we go to office or college for that matter, looking at others doing various activities, we also start doing those activities. When in the office everyone is working very seriously, naturally that mode of passion comes and then we will also start doing that. In the college, when people are sitting in the library and reading, we will also feel like even I should read. Similarly, a place where naturally everyone is doing devotional service, we will also feel like doing devotional service. So such a place is very, very important, which has got nice, sincere devotees. And those sincere devotees are sincerely endeavoring to attain the highest destination of human form of life. And such a setup where nice, sincere devotee boys come together and practice bhakti is called as BACE, B-A-C-E. It's like a family away from another family. We might have left our family at one place and maybe we have come for studies or we have come for work. But then here, this is a family away from that family. Because here, the goal is one. The goal is serving the Lord. The goal is the mission that we have to preach the message of Bhagavad Gita. And everyone stays together with that one goal in the mind. Therefore, it's very, very important to note that such association is a very, very, very rare association. And such association is a benediction for the Kali Yuga boy to practice devotional service. So BACE is a setup of a family coming together and practicing devotional service. So I hope this is clear. What is BACE? Why is it needed? Now the question is that what is the expectation from the person who is staying in the BACE? Because not anyone and everyone is allowed to stay. Because it's a place for a particular purpose. So surely there is a particular expectation that is there. And I always compare BACE to BASE of military. So BACE and the military base, there are not much difference. Because in the military base, there's training that happens. And similarly, in this base also, there's training of devotional service that happens. And this training is done very strictly so that our mind gets trained. Naturally, we see that mind will tend towards relaxation, procrastination, and just sense gratification. So we have to pull back the mind from there and strictly tame the mind to do devotional service. So in this place, the expectation is we first accept that I want to get trained. So anyone who has this mood that I want to get trained in devotional service, so that in future, when I get married or become a monk, I'll be trained properly, for my future. Because training is very important, not just for monk life, but along with that, for the life of a person who is going to get married. He's going to have a wife, he's going to have kids. So if he's trained very nicely in devotional service, so what happens? He can lead the family very nicely. So this is the first expectation, that the devotee who wants to stay in the BACE should have this mode that I want to get trained in devotional service. This is the first thing. Now, the next is the crest jewel program of the BACE is the morning program. That's the top priority that is given in the BACE. What is the morning program? So morning program is a schedule, a program that is given by Srila Prabhupada to all his followers in ISKCON. So it starts with greeting the Lord, the altar will be open, we pay obeisance to the Lord, and Aarti will happen, the first Aarti. So in all the bases where devotees are practicing from quite some time, the Aarti starts at 4:30. But when there is a new base that is opened and new people are shifting, and on their request, the Mangal Aarti sometimes is shifted to 6 or 5 o'clock or something like that. But the standard time is 4:30. So 4:30 the conch shell will be blown, the altar opens, and there is a nice, beautiful 8 verses of song that is sung, which is called as Guru Ashtakam, glorification of Sri Guru. And after that, Narsimha Aarti is sang. And then Tulasi Pradakshina is done. And after Tulasi Pradakshina, devotees sit together and hear a class. Hear a pravachan, from Bhagavad Gita, from Bhagavatam, or these different training videos which are made. Just so that they can train their mind and tame their mind for next activity, and that is chanting. So in the morning program, these are the different things. And finally, chanting is there, which is very, very important. So devotees who stay in the BACE are expected to chant minimum 16 rounds. They have to come to that standard. If they're at 4 rounds, with time, they can take their time of few months, few weeks or few months, and they have to come to 16 rounds, which is 2 hours of chanting. So chanting starts at 5:30. 5:30 to 7:30, devotees are expected to complete their 16 rounds. And it's a luxury. It's a luxury because it's an exclusive time sitting with the devotees, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's a luxury in Brahma Muhurta time. So in the future videos, we'll discuss about various important aspects of chanting of dressing oneself as a Vaishnav, in Vaishnava attire, and various other aspects we'll discuss elaborately. But here, this is what is the expectation, that the devotee who wants to stay in the base should be ready to wake up early in the morning, should be ready to dress himself in the Vaishnava attire, that is dhoti, kurta, tilak. And then along with that, it is also an expectation that he should be able to attend the Mangalarti and chant minimum 16 rounds every day. So this is the point. Now, 16 rounds are there. Morning program is there. But you know what? A person will be able to continue chanting 16 rounds. He'll be able to continue attending morning program with full enthusiasm when he is not committing any sin. So the 4 pillars of sin, and these 4 pillars of sin are completely prohibited in the base setup. Anyone who stays in the base have to give up these 4 sinful activities. First, no meat eating. So there is no question of eating any meat, fish, eggs, etc. In fact, anyone who shifts to the base, they're expected to take only prasad. No eating outside. So we just take prasad from here, from the center. We pack it if we're going to office or we're going to college, and we have only that and nothing else. Prasad. And obviously prasad is delicious. There is no question of that. So devotees relish taking prasad. And then, this is regarding meat eating. So we take only prasad. There's no question of eating anything else apart from that. And why only prasad and other things we'll discuss elaborately, in another video. Second thing is, no meat eating, no illicit sex. So there's no question of having a girlfriend and staying in the base and talking to her or chatting with her. No, better we stay outside. There's no question of watching pornographic movies. No question of masturbation. So all these things come under illicit sex, where we lose our semen unnecessarily. So it is not allowed. Third is no intoxication. So there's no question of alcohol, drugs, cigarette, etc. Along with that, there's no question of tea and coffee. Anyways, tea, coffee comes from foreign. It's not the Indian that is there. So only when Britishers came, they got this intoxicants with them, which energizes people when they drink. And obviously, it's not good for health for various reasons, acidity and graying of hair and all that. So this is the third one, that is no intoxication and no gambling. There's no question of betting and this and that. So these are the 4 regulative principles which acts as the 4 pillars of sin. No meat eating, only prasadam, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. So these are the 4 regulative principles which the base devotees are expected to follow. And it's a training, as I said, we train the mind to live a very nice, pious, holy life, pure life. And anyone who lives such a life, just imagine how wonderful the mood will be, how light the person will feel, and how pure the person will be. And naturally, he'll become magnetic, and people around will get attracted to that person. And that person can actually preach. Therefore, this is the thing that is there. So 4 relative principles have to be followed. So now when we are doing our sadhana, we are attending the morning program which consists of Mangalarti, Narsimha Arti, Tulasi Pradakshina, chanting 16 rounds, hearing a lecture, and along with that, we have to read the books given by Srila Prabhupada. This is called a Swadhyay. So chanting, reading and hearing and attending the Mangalarti morning program. So this is called a sadhana of a devotee in the base. So he is expected to do his sadhana properly and report his sadhana to his mentor. Because whenever we go down in devotional service, we would need help. We would need help to come up to the platform where we can practice bhakti again with full enthusiasm. So the devotee is pulled up whenever he is going low by the mentors. Therefore, the sadhana report submission is very, very important, on day-to-day basis or on the weekly basis as per the rules set in that particular base. So the reporting of sadhana is very, very important. And as mentioned, only prasad. It's very important to meditate on. I don't want to eat anything else apart from that food that is offered to Krishna, which has become prasad. So this, it's not that anything and everything can be offered to Krishna. Only sattvic foodstuffs are offered to Krishna. And when Krishna accepts that, it becomes spiritualized food. Very, very powerful, very potent. So when you put that in the mouth, when it goes into our body, it spiritualizes the entire body. Just imagine, when we hear something, we get affected. Now when we eat, and when that is getting converted into blood and muscle and other things, imagine how much power it will have. So only prasad. This should be there in the mind. Only prasad. And then when we are staying in the base, sadhana is there, and along with that comes into picture seva. As I already said, base is a place of training. So we'll get trained in various aspects. Like first, how to do the worship of the Lord, the full arati, how to clean the place, how to maintain the cleanliness. So this is in the base. So every day we'll have some little service in the base, maybe 15-20 minutes or max half an hour. And along with that, on the weekends, we will have various services in the ISKCON center. We'll have various preaching services where we'll go out and distribute books, distribute passes for the youth festival, invite them for the program. And along with that, we will have various other items, other services like washing vessels, cleaning the hall, cleaning the place, because it's finally Krishna's temple, it's our house, so it has to be cleaned. And then obviously talking to the various newcomers who are there, helping them out in various ways. And maybe in future, if we are qualified, taking the role of a mentor. So these are different services on the weekend, which we are supposed to do. So every base will have its daily program. But then on the weekend, they come together in the ISKCON center to do the morning program together. Everyone will sit together and have a physical class where a senior devotee will give class, and we'll get the opportunity to hear, do kirtan together, and various other things like that. So this is the weekend program that is there. And also very important, as I said, it's a training ground that is there. So whenever we have to go out, say, we have to go to our hometown, or we have to go out of station for anything, so permission should be taken, from the authorities. So permission should be taken that I want to go here, may I go? Not that we book our tickets and then say I'm going. Why? Why this is needed? Because when we start taking permission for different things that we do in our day-to-day life, our mind will be trained to accept an authority and follow the authority. This is what is needed. This is what is needed to train the mind, because mind does not want to hear anyone. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his song, he writes, Manaje pagala mora, namane shasana sada chetana. My mind is mad, and therefore it does not want to accept any authority. The only thing that the mind wants to do is just do whatever it likes. But then the mind will make us do something which will take us away from Krishna, away from devotional service. Therefore, it's very, very important that mind should be always under an authority and listen to the authority. And obviously, authorities are mature and practical to understand what is good and what is bad, and guide the person accordingly. Therefore, taking permission is very, very important. So basically, all these different things are a part of training, where we stay together, we do our sadhana, we report our sadhana. Seva is allocated to us, we do our seva properly. And then whenever we want to go out somewhere, we want to do something, we take permission for that. So in this way, every time, we are nicely trained, nourished in our spiritual life, and we are getting ready to the next phase of life. Either that can be the married life, if the person fits in the Grihastha ashram, or it can be the Brahmacharya ashram if the nature supports there. So in either of the case, the important thing is training. And this base is a training ground where all devotees nicely get trained for a better, wonderful, intense Krishna conscious future life. I hope the expectations are clear, and devotees who stay in the base, they will maintain the purity in various ways and get trained, voluntarily get trained for a better, intense, Krishna conscious future life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.